This is draft 2 of the CSC Cloud Plugin Overview module. Welcome to CSC Cloud Plugin Training. Thank you for attending. This will be the Cloud Plugin Overview module, one of several modules that will explain how Cloud Plugin is installed onto Agility Platform, how it's configured on Agility Platform, and how it's used on Agility Platform. Today we'll be talking about what the Cloud Plugin is, how it affects an Agility Platform installation, what enhancements it makes to that Agility Platform, and what extra capabilities it gives to that Agility Platform. Our purpose for this module is to give you an idea of what these pieces look like and give you an idea of why a customer would be interested in this. The first thing we'll need to do is actually define what Cloud Plugin is. Many of you have probably seen information about it, probably have seen videos or heard talks about it, or especially around the capabilities, but we need to make sure that we drive down and actually emphasize this first point, that Cloud Plugin is software that modifies an Agility Platform installation. That's it. What we do is we actually add some software to an Agility Platform installation that gives us those capabilities. We should talk about what those capabilities are. Those Cloud Plugin enables delivery of CSC Gold services on any supported cloud. CSC Gold services being backup, antivirus, monitoring, and in the case of Amazon AWS clouds, patching. On any supported cloud right now, that is BizCloud and Amazon AWS. As of late July 2015, we expect SoftLayer and Azure to be coming along. Cloud Plugin also enables rapid deployment of Agility Platform. Feedback we'd gotten from pro services engagements and from customers themselves had been that after Agility Platform had been stood up and installed, getting it to talk to the clouds was one thing, but actually enabling role-based access control or containers or the actually making an Agility Platform into a usable tool took a considerable amount of time. Cloud Plugin actually shortens that time by pre-creating a collection of project roles, user groups, users, a collection of containers and projects with development, test, and production environments inside them that are ready to be used, ready to be cloned, and very easily cloned out so that you can rapidly deploy Agility Platform. What we're looking to do with Cloud Plugin is to reduce the amount of time it takes to go from standing in front of the customer to delivering a customer-ready implementation. Cloud Plugin also enables the use of CSC SOE images. Especially in BizCloud environments, SOE images are required in order to meet cybersecurity pieces. Those SOE images are going to be available in public clouds as well. They'll be available in AWS clouds and other clouds that CSC supports on an ongoing basis. And lastly, Cloud Plugin enables third-party authentication and management tools. Most of our customers will not be using Agility Platform's built-in authentication. They'll actually already have some sort of third-party authentication method, such as Active Directory or an LDAP server. Cloud Plugin enables you to map users and user groups directly from those authentication methods directly into the Agility Platform itself, so that you don't have to keep two sets of credentials running. And management tools lets you actually use Agility Platform to communicate and leverage existing customer ecosystem pieces. The best way to actually move forward, of course, would be to show you what Cloud Plugin does. And what we'll do is we'll start with a new Agility Platform installation and then show workload capabilities and actually how you actually accomplish tasks with that. And then we'll do the same thing with a Cloud Plugin enabled Agility Platform installation. What we're going to look at first is a full-featured CSC Agility Platform installation, and we're going to show how workflow is accomplished to actually check out a virtual machine from the store and deploy it. So as you can see, we're going to the store. We're going to choose one of the blueprints that's available to us, that FW test, and we're going to order that product. I'm going to give it a name, and then I'm going to place it into one of the projects that is available to me under that location tab. In this case, I'll use the AP300. Because we don't have a Cloud Plugin enabled Agility platform here, there are no properties, so we don't actually use the store in this kind of workflow in order to make changes to a virtual machine. So we've actually ordered our product. In most situations, someone else would have to approve the ordering and approve the deployment. For purposes of this demo, the user that actually orders will also be the user that deploys it. But there are several different ways to actually handle approval that includes some checks and balances. Now I've chosen to approve this checkout. Now I'm going to actually deploy it, and I'm going to create a new topology and place that topology under, again, the same project, AP300 Dev and Testing. And as you can see, our topology is pending deploy, and we can actually open that up and see what's going on. In addition, we have to approve this as well. And again, for purposes of this demo, this particular user can both deploy and approve its own deployments, but in the field, you would actually have another user that approves the deployment, depending on your security needs. And what's happening at this point is Agility Platform is communicating with the cloud provider, creating a topology, creating the template on the cloud provider, and readying everything to be started. And we can see by the box in the upper right that it's actually successfully deployed. So at this point, we're actually ready to start that virtual machine. But because I have a full-featured CSC Agility platform instance, I'd like to see what's actually going on under the hood. So let's get into the policy perspective, or the operations perspective, and that way that'll let us see a little more about what's going on. Now, once I'm in the operations perspective, I can actually go to the AP300 Dev and Testing project, open that up, go to the topology that was created, the template that was created, and we can see it's not running, but I can see some information about it. I can see its processor, memory, drive, what kind of network adapter it has. Obviously, that's ready to go. Now, if I wanted to connect to that virtual machine in the field, I would use the console that's built into the Agility platform piece. Now let's take a look at a cloud platform enabled Agility platform. Now, for purposes of this demo, I've already done the steps we did beforehand, where I've actually ordered and then deployed a virtual machine from the store on this Agility platform. Now with Cloud Plugin, I have a richer performance view. This is driven by the NIMsoft performance tool that's actually included as one of the CSC Gold services. We have the ability now to actually see that Pluto topology that's up and running that I've already created from the store. As you can see, the columns are CPU usage, memory usage, and disk usage. So I've got some nice information to let me see about what's happening at a physical layer. Now, if I go back into the topology itself, I've got some nice information about what's going on. I can actually see that is NSOE Linux image. I can see that I've got both the public and the private IPs. I can see, obviously, that it's state running rather than starting or stopping or failed, which occasionally happens in our test environments. And I can also have a large, very rich environment that I can see some things going on. This configuration button that's available to us with the Cloud plugin lets me actually change the size of the virtual machine. Right now, it's a 2 gigabyte machine with one Xeon core. If I wanted to double the memory or quadruple the memory or go from 1 to 2 to or 4 cores, I could. And this is all available from this Launchpad item. As you can see, this is not necessarily a non-destructive item, because you actually have to release and restart the virtual machine in order to make that size effective. For purposes, we'll say no. Under storage, we can do the same thing. If I wanted to add storage to a virtual machine that I could see, I could actually create a new mount point /users, and I could add a volume size. And we use something realistic like 50,000 gigabytes or 50 terabytes. That should be quite a lot of movies. And then we can add that. And again, if I choose OK and then go forward with this change, in order to make this happen, I will have to actually release and then release and restart the virtual machine in order to get that change to take effect. The third new piece that's available via the Launchpad is the services. And for this BizCloud cloud provider that we have, I've got the antivirus service, the backup service, and the monitoring service enabled, are available to me. Right now, the antivirus service is enabled for this particular virtual machine. But if I choose to enable or disable those services, I can do this on the fly. This does not require a reboot for the virtual machine. Additionally, at the bottom, I've got some hyperlinks that let me look at managing, logging into the virtual machine, accessing the vConsole, or charting. I can actually use what's called a guacamole server to actually access the virtual machine. And the guacamole server is a proxy that lets me log in to a running virtual machine without actually having to go through the Java-based SSH tool that's built into Agility Platform. So if you're looking for a proxy solution for your customer to actually have all that traffic run through a particular machine, that guacamole server can run on a machine that can be heavily firewalled or have extra security pieces placed on it. And then once I'm logged in, as you can see, this is running in a web browser, then it's the same thing as having an SSH session running. And I can actually issue commands directly from the command line. I'm actually root on the box. So let's take a look at some of the rapid deployment pieces as well. What we said earlier was, obviously, we've got the ability to add these CSC gold services to virtual machines, and that Launchpad shows you that we have the ability to do so. But in addition, we said that we wanted to talk about rapid deployment as well, and being able to have pre-built user groups lowers the time that it takes to actually get this into the field. And you see CloudPlugin actually adds all business administrators, all business owners, and so on, and a collection of user groups that can be applied to project roles and then placed into use on containers or projects. And we see we've built a lot of project roles as well, the BizCloud Project Approver, BizCloud Project Operator, and so on. Rather than having to build these project roles yourself, this is all canned, and if you want to actually make changes, you can actually clone them and go forward. And we can see that this particular project role is in fact being used by a container called customer. So let's look at the policy perspective and see what's going on. Now again, under policy, under the root container, we've built a customer container and then two subcontainers, BU1 and information technology, and each one of those has already been modified to actually support security roles. Let's take a look at the customer container and the security tab there, and you can see we've got all these project roles that are already in place, and we've got users and groups already set up at a higher level. They're inherited. The BizCloud Platform Administrator project role is actually directly applied to that container. It's already filled out with a particular group and some custom rights as well. Now, so those are the differences between a cloud-enabled and a non-cloud-enabled. So one thing we need to also talk about is what exactly does Cloud Plugin do to the Agility platform? Well, the biggest thing it does is upload a tremendous number of XML files that include definitions for services, environments, store admins. It includes the definitions for the SOEs. It includes global rights and packages. It includes the project roles all through there as XML files. It includes the container rights, stack definitions, store definitions, a large number of users, a large number of policies, and a large number of scripts. So as you can see, there's a large number of things that are actually pushed into Agility Platform. And if you take the Agility Platform Cloud Platform installation module, you'll see exactly what happens and how this is done. So again, thank you for attending this Cloud Plugin overview. Please direct questions to our C3 site or go ahead and email us at training@servicemesh.com.